I hope you're all doing really well. Today I'm coming at you with a brand new video, and this one is going to be about how to not care about what other people think of you. And despite not reading The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, I have went from someone who couldn't even sit in a cafe by themselves to someone that knows a thing or two about confidence. I mean, I would say that I'm a pretty confident person right now. I'm not perfect, I'm not Beyonce, nor will I ever be Beyonce, but that's besides the point. I'm going to be giving you some tips and tricks on becoming more confident and truly not caring, because there's some stuff I do and I'm just like, I genuinely feel so free. Like, I can just wear anything, do anything, you know, say anything, and it's great. It's the best, most freeing feeling ever. So let's get into it. But before we do, don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it. I want to spread my message across to as many people as possible, and your thumbs up would greatly help that. And make sure to subscribe if you want to consistently become the best version of yourself. Now let's get into it. So some of the points mentioned have previously been talked about in my How to Be a High Value Woman part 1 and 2. So if you want to check those videos out, they will be in the description box down below and in the cards up above. And as a disclaimer, these are things you should do in order to give yourself happiness and not care about what other people think. But when it comes to hurting other people or breaking societal norms in terms of ethics and morals, that's something obviously I don't advocate for, and I'm not supporting. This is purely just facts and points and tips for doing things that make you happy and being the highest version of yourself.
Huh? What? Oh. Okay.
You want to be completely nonchalant, just like Trisha Paytas. I've literally used her as an example so many times during the past couple of videos, but it's true. She's an actual icon. That clip runs in my head every time I think something in my head that's like, what if this person's gonna think this? But what if this person's gonna think this? But what if this person's gonna think this? Huh? What? Oh. Okay. Know that those thoughts aren't real, so you don't actually know what those people are going to think of you. And this is talking purely in the micro form. And even if they do think of that, that's their own perspective. Whenever that little bell rings of what if, but deep down in your heart you know that that is okay to do. It's just gonna, you know, come with a little bit of judgment maybe, but who cares, right? Always play that Trisha Paytas clip in your head. Be as nonchalant as possible, and even if the alarm bells are ringing in your head, but you know that this is something that's coming from your highest self, and you really want to wear that shirt, or you really want to post that selfie, right? Or that extra post that you think might be a little bit too, you know, too much or too annoying, right? Just be non-reactive, or pretend like you're non-reactive and be like, what? Oh. Like, you have to talk to your thoughts as if they're dumb. Tip number 2, and this is kind of a long-winded one, it's not just a specific sentence, but if you catch yourself thinking about a specific person that's going to judge you, for example, if it's your mum that's going to judge you on what you're going downstairs to wear, or if it is posting a story and it's like, oh, what is my crush going to think? Imagine them being born, going through their own set of experiences, you know, growing up, living their life, making their own memories. Even though we are different, we are all human. So we all have our different desires, our different needs, our different personalities. And while it's okay that they're maybe different or have an opposing different stance on you, or you want to impress them, do not put them on a pedestal, because they are just as human as you are. As soon as you make every single person equal to you, then you're no longer going to try to impress them or repress yourself and your actions and what you want to say or lack thereof, just because this one person might think something of you, or think that you're stupid, or think that you're annoying, or whatever it is that you are thinking. And to that point, tip number 4, recognize that if a person has actually said out loud like a judgment towards you that's triggering your what if they think this, or what if they think that, have compassion and empathy for that person, and just like you did in tip number 3, imagine them going through their different experiences to yours, the unique set of experiences that you may not know anything about, but they are just as deep and they're just as meaningful and important as yours. And while they may not mirror what is going on in your life, and it may be different, that's made them who they are today. Have compassion and empathy, but do what makes you happy. Tip number 4, the good old cliche, they're probably not even thinking about you. This is a fact of life. People have 60,000 thoughts in a day, and you might be one of them. Maybe, maybe not. You don't know. And even if it is, maybe it's just a real quick one. And at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter, because think even today as an example. If you can remember, what have most of your thoughts been about? What are you gonna eat for lunch? What you're gonna wear? What coffee you're gonna order? What did that person think when I said good instead of good when they asked you about your weekend? You were thinking about things to do with you, right? You and your identity is more important than the thoughts of other people. The thoughts that probably don't even exist, the thoughts that are maybe subconscious 1-second thoughts, the thoughts that might have been projected and triggered from their own personal traumas and past experiences, or the thoughts that when asked in 2 days, they'd be like, what jeans? What are you talking about? Like, people do not think of you per se. They're thinking for a second and then they're moving on with their lives. So that's tip number 4. I know that a lot of people talk about this tip, but it just logically makes sense, and I constantly have to remind myself about that one too. Tip number 5, and this isn't so much of a tip, in terms of what's cool and what's uncool, like in societal norms, everyone has their own preferences. People were raised differently, people have different personalities, so only follow trends that you identify with, that you're like, hey, that is pretty. Do not do it to impress someone. Obviously, I'm not gonna streak naked on the street. That would be illegal, I think. But you know what I mean? Like, you have to also be respectful and draw a thin line. But when it comes to terms of like, people online are always roasting people for posting too many Instagram stories. It's like, how does that affect you? Don't like balls to the wind, do whatever it is that you want to do. Of course, I'm not saying that. You need to have a good balance of collectivity and individuality, and I think both are important. Your individuality and how you want to express yourself, what you want to say, if it doesn't hurt anyone, know that that is for you. Like, do that for you. But when you start to trust yourself in what is a societal norm and what is something that is just an individual thing that you can express to other people, do it. Like, you need to do things that reflect your inner being. And if that means it's wearing a Canadian tuxedo, wear a Canadian tuxedo. I freaking used to rock Canadian tuxedos at uni, but I would always be like, but like, oh my god, I feel ridiculous. Like, if a Canadian tuxedo is what is drawn to you, and you are drawn to the Canadian tuxedo, then you must wear the Canadian tuxedo, because it is a part of your identity. It reflects who you are. I hope you enjoyed this one, and again, please make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.